Evam nirantarabhyasta brahmaivasmiti vasana haratya vidya vikshepan roga nivarasayanam. Evam nirantarabhyasta brahmaivasmiti vasana haratya vidya vikshepan roga nivarasayanam. Evam nirantarabhyasta. Thus, constant practice of the impression, I am Brahman. Nirantara abhyasa, constant practice. I am verily that Brahman destroys the agitations caused by avidya, which is avidya vikshepan. Vikshepa is agitation. The agitation arises because of avidya, just as medicine destroys disease. Just like COVID shield is destroying COVID, or the vaccine destroys disease. Nirantarabhyasa, that constancy, that consistency, that persistence, that insistence, that I am Brahman alone. It is not a mechanical repetition, but an awareness you have, the back of your mind, that I am that Brahman. Brahmaivasmiti. It's an innate impression. The constant practice. I am that, I am that, I am that. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. So negation and assertion, there's nothing else. The question is whether you're able to do that. Now, what holds you back from doing this nirantara abhyasa? Tinkima, what is it that holds you back from doing this abhyasa every moment?
Because we keep identifying with the body, mind, and intellect. So we think I'm the body, I'm my mind, my opinions, thoughts, likes, dislikes. So when we are in class, we are kind of back to thinking I am Brahman. Then we get back into life, and there are moments when we remind ourselves, and most of the time we are back to being in our normal.
Then you will say, I'm Tinky as Brahman. And then Brahman is gone, I'm Tinky. That's all. That's all. Slowly, Brahman is kicked out. And then now in the class, Tinky is kicked out, Brahman is there.
Yes.
And slowly there's stages.
No, actually, well, yes, I think that's what is happening, but slowly that's declining. That is definitely declining.
Yeah.
I think when we do that morning study reflection, it kind of sets the tone for the day for a bit. And then during the day, when we again rehear or reread, again, it's like, whatever is in the forefront of our memory and our conscious thoughts remains with us. Otherwise, it's just pushed to the back because we are dealing with so many other things. So we have to keep bringing it to the forefront and, recalling it and reminding ourselves.
Absolutely. So what is it that disturbs or it makes it difficult to practice this assertion? Nirantara abhyasa is our own attachments. We get distracted We get caught up, we get
Yes.
deluded. It is in fact nothing but avidya, it's ignorance, due to our own ignorance, attachments,
Mm.
the agitations which arise. In fact, two examples you can remember to remind yourself of the principle is like when somebody, when you play kabaddi, the game kabaddi, when you're playing, what are you supposed to say? Hmm? You are supposed to say kabaddi, 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 isn't it? You constantly have to keep saying, as long as you are in that opponent's court, you got to constantly keep saying. The nitya, constant smarana, constant thought, almost to a point of annoyance. You must keep saying that. Nirantara abhyasa, nirantara abhyasa. The second example is a shruti. This must become the shruti, like a classical musician has that ever attunement. And the moment you slip from the shruti, a musician gets annoyed. A classical musician is constantly attuned to that shruti. Similarly, if you are tuned to that shruti that you are, that self, every conduct of yours, you'll translate, elevate it to that. And the moment you slip, it will annoy you, it will disturb you. So therefore, in every walk of life, you should have a reminder. This is where the principle of association of thoughts happen. The association of thoughts. That's the reason in India, at least in our culture, you find you name people with names of gods and goddesses, isn't it? You call Rajeshwari, or you call Lakshmi, you call Rama, and so on. You name gods and goddesses, so even when you're calling someone, you're only reminded of the Lord. It's a means, isn't it? It's a means of attunement. But in Western culture, you'll have carpenter, Enna Rajima, Tom and Jerry.
Tom.
You can call someone Jerry, you'll call Tom. You'll have a name of a place, a buffalo. Enna adana per adu? Stone. I don't know whether you heard this. One of the Englishmen, his name was Side Bottom. He was a left-hand paceman, if I'm not wrong, or spinner, paceman, and spinner, pace. Correct. A left-hand pacer called Ryan Sidebottom. No, I'm not criticizing. I'm saying what is association of thoughts? So our culture is so designed that every aspect of life, every walk, every action is used as a means to attune to the higher. So therefore, what happens is there is a nirantara abhyasa, there's a constancy of thought of the Lord or the higher in every aspect of your action. In every action, there is a reminder. So addition to this, you'll have to put in an extra effort to be able to attune to the higher, to maintain this abhyasa. And how does this work? Just as medicine destroys disease, this thought of the higher destroys agitations which arise out of avidya. Avidya is ignorance. Ignorance of what? Now, my question is ignorance of the self. That is not difficult to answer. Now, how does avidya express? How does avidya cause agitations? He's saying agitations caused of avidya. But how does avidya cause agitation? See, avidya, you need to know the technical. It's more technical. You may superficially also understand it, but you must know how does this concept should resonate with you all. Some of them have commented rightly so. Avidya, which is ignorance of the self, manifests as your vasanas first. Vasanas is also synonymous to avidya. And where there are vasanas, it comes desires. And where there are desires, there's nothing but mental agitations. So the desires which cause mental agitations is arising because of avidya, which is vasanas. Vasanas, desires, agitations. That's an order. So the more knowledge of the self, the desires and vasanas diminish. The less desires you have, the more peaceful one is. The mind is more matured, more introverted and calm. So it's an antidote. Therefore, knowledge is an antidote for agitations which arise due to ignorance. Just like medicine destroys disease. When medicine destroys disease, it reveals your natural state. The natural state is your health. Your original state is health. Similarly, our original state is vidya. Vidya is that knowledge, not avidya. Our original state is health. Our original state is the state of Atman. But all of us are not experiencing it. That's the sad part, isn't it? We are not experiencing that original state. What a pity. What a pity. And these masters are roaring the truth to us with that concern, as Hariji said earlier, with love and compassion. They are trying to uplift us to that state of what we are. We don't know what that is. Just like medicine destroys disease, he says. Yes, Hariji?
But unfortunately, we always say we take medicine to become healthy. We never say that we are taking medicine to remove the disease, forgetting the fact health is our basic nature, original nature. We always say that I have to take medicine so that I become healthy. It is a paradox.
It's a wrong usage. It is.
Yeah.
It is a paradox. Yes, it is wrong. Medicine cannot give you health, as you rightly understand. Medicine can only take away ill health. So knowledge cannot give you that experience of the self. Knowledge only can remove the ignorance which veils that experience. You are already that. You do not know that you are the self. It's like I am the king and I'm thinking myself to be the beggar. I'm begging at the streets. I'm begging at the doors of my equipment and the world, not knowing the kingdom of wealth within me. So I want little physical pleasure. I want some emotional joy. I want some intellectual curiosity. Why? Because I do not know that the wealth of the self which is within me. But the moment I know that I am the king, you would not go begging at the doors of these equipments. So the entire process is made to help you realize what you are worth, what you are. And what is obstructing me and from that realization is the ignorance of myself. It is not to crown you the king, you're already the king. It's letting you realize that you are a crowned king, man. You're forgotten, you have loss of memory. You have hypnotized yourself to be something else. So the entire process of this learning is to dehypnotize you. And how do I dehypnotize you? Ramanji, how do I dehypnotize you?
Please repeat.
How do I dehypnotize you?
How do I dehypnotize you?
Correct. How do I dehypnotize?
Now you can little elaborate. I didn't follow the.
Any further elaboration, I'm answering the question. No problem. No problem, sir. I shall clarify it. See, the whole process which I've just said, the knowledge is only removing ignorance. The knowledge is not giving you that experience. Just like Harishji said, medicine is not giving you health. Medicine is only taking away disease. Health is your natural state. Just like that, from an absolute standpoint, realization of the self is our natural state, is our original state. It's just that we do not know that I am the self. And the whole process of gaining that self is the process of dehypnotizing you of what you believe. So it's a reverse process of hypnosis. So the dehypnotization is happening through the process of the statement Nirantara Abhyasa, which is Brahmaivasmi Divasana, which is to keep saying myself, I am that Brahman, I am that Brahman, is the dehypnosis. Dehypnosis to the process of a hypnotized state. The hypnotized state we are in is you believe I am this body, I am this mind, I am this intellect. You think I am Mr. Seturaman, isn't it? Since you have hypnotized yourself to be what you are, the dehypnosis is to undo what you've done. And how to do that is to negate that. Neti, I'm not that. And to say, I am Brahman. And this must happen constantly so that you'll undo that and you will start creating a new identity of yourself. It's just a constant process of hypnosis. And sadly so, we have hypnotized ourselves to believe. And hypnosis means you believe something other than the reality, isn't it? So the whole exercise is to undo what we have done. And the moment that takes effect, you realize the self, which you are. It's not that I'm crowning you the king. You're already a crowned king.
We are removing the veil and revealing ourselves.
Absolutely. We're removing the veil and realizing what we truly are. So that is the effort constantly. So we must understand the importance of this abhyasa. Constantly we are negating and asserting. And if you do it with bhavana, it will not become a monotony. You must do it with bhavana. You must do it with purity and sincerity. And no sooner thereafter, these words start making absolute sense to you. They start speaking to you. They speak volumes. They all resonate the Brahman through them. Okay? Otherwise, they are just empty words, meaningless words with no deeper intent. It should not be that, please. Okay?